Next on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend, El Chapo on the move this weekend. The notorious Mexican drug lord now just to our south. And a contested race leads to a surprising victory. The results from the District 2 election and more. And El Paso businesses urging Texas to stay competitive and pledge to stay fair. And storm track weather, Iris.
We just can't escape those winds. What can you expect throughout your Mother's Day Sunday? I'll let you know exactly coming up.
This is all the news you need to start your Sunday, May 8th. ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso weekend.
Well, good morning, El Paso, and thank you for joining us. And of course, happy Mother's Day. I'm Andrew J. Polk. Getting straight to our overnight headlines, one teen is dead after a late night rollover in East El Paso. Happened on the 13,000 block of Job Road. El Paso Sheriff's Office says a Jeep was traveling southwest on Job and for an unknown reason didn't turn on a curve on the street, causing the Jeep to leave the street and roll over. Deputies say 2 teen boys and 2 teen girls were in the car, all ages between 17 and 18 years old. One died on the scene, and the other 3 were transported to the hospital with minor injuries. The sheriff's office is still looking into the crash. Infamous drug kingpin Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, now right next door to El Paso. He's been transferred to a federal prison close to Ciudad Juarez. Chapo is now at Ceferezo number 9, which is in Salamayuca. That's just south of Juarez. He was sent there from the maximum security Altiplano prison. El Chapo had already pulled off 2 escapes from that prison, one in 2001 and then again in 2015. This comes months after being recaptured and held in the same prison he broke out of last year. ABC's Matt Gutman has more.
This morning, Joaquin El Chapo Guzman is waking up within tunneling distance of the U.S. Mexican media saying this new video shows the world's most notorious drug boss being led shackled from a plane to a waiting helicopter in Ciudad Juarez. The transfer just months after they recaptured the narco king.
If I were in charge of El Chapo's security, I wouldn't tell anybody anything, because the idea of an armed group trying to break him free is very realistic. Mexican authorities said he'd been taken from this supermax near Mexico City overnight, citing the need to beef up security there. Then in January, Mexican Marines raided this safe house as his henchmen provided cover fire and tried to escape, slipping into this secret tunnel.
We're going to go down this passageway, which is flooded.
El Chapo then ducking into the sewer. The Marines finally captured him, but his knack for prison breaks is one reason the U.S. Department of Justice has been pushing so hard to extradite El Chapo to the U.S. Here he faces a multitude of charges, including murder, kidnapping, and drug trafficking. For Good Morning America, Matt Gutman, ABC News, Los Angeles.
2 buses and a fuel tanker collided early this morning on a major highway in Afghanistan, killing 52 people. According to officials there, another 73 people who had been on the buses were wounded in the crash, which set all 3 vehicles ablaze. Some of the injured were transferred to some area hospitals. The collision happened on the main highway linking the capital, Kabul, to the southern city of Kandahar. Road accidents are common in Afghanistan, where roads are often in poor condition and traffic laws are rarely enforced. And a raging wildfire is continuing to spread in the western Canadian province of Alberta. Authorities were expecting this blaze to grow in its northeastern sector, meaning a high possibility the fire would reach the neighboring town of Saskatchewan border as Saturday evening progressed. The blaze now covers more than 385,000 acres. An official says extreme fire conditions will persist for the next 2 days. But getting to our storm track weather now, let's get your first forecast with storm tracker Iris Lopez. Good morning, Iris.
Good morning, Andrew. Good Sunday morning to you all, and of course a happy Mother's Day. If you don't like wind, though, it might not be too happy, but nonetheless a great day. Let's see what you can expect when you're heading outside right now for the start of your Sunday. We've got 65 here in El Paso. Still in those 50s for Las Cruces, but slowly starting to jump up into those upper 50s. Upper 50s for Deming as well, 58 TRC and 56 over at Guadalupe Pass. Those winds right now, we have a light breeze here on the west side of town. Those winds are looking to be, though, calm for the most part at the El Paso International Airport, slowly starting to rise up. 16 miles per hour, Las Cruces at 8 miles per hour. Now let's take a look at what you can expect for your Mother's Day afternoon. Look at that, we've got 69 by 9 a.m. Then those winds will start to pick up once we hit your lunchtime hour. 78 the expected high by 4 p.m. We're going to talk a little bit more about when you can expect those peak gusts, when you can expect those winds to calm down, and your Mother's Day planner throughout the rest of your day coming up. Andrew?
All right, thanks, Iris. Check back in just a bit. There's a new person ready to take the District 2 City Council seat. Larry Romero held the seat before he resigned, citing health issues after he suffered a stroke in February. Romero was also the target of an ethics investigation. Results now show that Jim Tolbert received more than 59.9% of the vote, or 1,132 votes out of 24 precincts. Tolbert ran unsuccessfully against Larry Romero in 2013. 8 candidates were vying for the position this time around: Rene Aviles, Semile de Azatlan, Angel del Toro, Dolores Garcia Paca, Abraham Monteros, David Navarez, Gordon Ray Thatcher, and Tolbert. ABC7's Jerry Nahara continues our complete coverage of the election.
I'm here at Dewey's Corner Pub where Jim Tolbert and his supporters celebrated a victory.
I'm honored, and I'm overwhelmed, and I'm overjoyed.
This wasn't the former small business owner turned environmental activist's first run for office. In 2013, Tolbert ran against Larry Romero for the District 2 seat.
One of the things that we found out while going around the district is that, I kept the support of people that voted for me before, but there were a lot of people that had voted for Mr. Romero that said, no, they were going to vote for me this time.
Tolbert tells me he's ready to focus on some of the issues that he feels need to be addressed.
We've been stagnant now for 2-3 years. We haven't been moving on our quality of life projects. We haven't been moving on economic development. We haven't been moving on some of our infrastructure problems. And we need to start doing more for our small businesses. And so it's time to get things moving again. That's the main message.
The certified results will be ready from the County Elections Administrator Monday, May 16th. Tolbert could be sworn in and take office within 2 weeks of that date. Reporting for Good Morning El Paso, I'm Jerry Nájera.
And despite the tax increase for Tornillo, voters there overwhelmingly voted to approve a $10 million bond for the Tornillo Independent School District. Final election results show out of 2 precincts, the bond passed by more than 71% and 149 votes, with 60 votes against, or more than 28% there. The bond is set to upgrade schools and improve athletics. The money will go towards new roofing, heating, and cooling for TISD's 4 schools. It will also help make schools accessible for people with disabilities. The district also wants to build a new track and field and tennis courts with lights, a field house, and bleachers. The bond will raise the tax rate from 21 cents per $100 of home valuation to 31 cents. That means the average homeowner there of a $47,000 home would pay $23 more, which is about $2 more a month. For all the latest election results, you can check them all out over at KVIA.com. You'll find the total results for El Paso's District 2, the Tornillo bond, and the results for Anthony's Town Council, as well as results for the El Paso County Water Improvement District number 1. And soon, hundreds of seniors will be crossing the stage and entering into the real world by graduating from high school. That next step can be very stressful. And that's why Socorro ISD hosted a college career and job expo yesterday. Students between the ages of 16 and 21 were invited out through Montwood High School to get a jump start on their future. Those in attendance had the opportunity to speak with colleges, technical schools, military, and business representatives. Some of the students even had the opportunity to interview with some employers for summer jobs and internships.
Sometimes kids are lost, they're seniors and they don't know where to go from then on, and sometimes you get sophomores that are going to be juniors and they want to see what they can do at a later time, so I think anybody can benefit from it.
And elsewhere, great food, family, but most of all mariachis, a great way to spend a warm Saturday in the borderland. We got several people enjoying their day at the Mariachi Loco Festival in downtown El Paso. One protest told us it was how it shows that El Paso is growing by holding more and more events.
Well, especially on a day like today, it's beautiful. It's fun to get out and walk around. You see this a lot in other cities, and I feel like we don't have a lot of it. Not that it doesn't happen, but when it does, it's a treat.
I guess since we're trying to have this little connection with our roots, our Mexican roots, which we love mariachi, and then just to mix it with our friendship, it's just a perfect way to have a Saturday.
And if you missed out yesterday, don't worry, it's going to be going on again today. The fest combines both Cinco de Mayo and Mother's Day in one big party. Special performances include Aida Cuevas, Sebastián de la Cruz, and Gerardo Fierro. Gates open today at noon, and the party lasts until midnight. Tickets are $15 for single days. And Pope Francis today wished mothers across the world a happy International Mother's Day. Speaking from his studio window overlooking St. Peter's Square, the pontiff encouraged pilgrims and tourists gathered to the square to remember mothers, quote, with gratitude and love. He said in many countries around the world today, Mother's Day is celebrated. Our mothers, those who are amongst us and those who went to heaven. The Pope then prayed, then led the square in prayer and the Hail Mary dedicated to all mothers. And the Greater El Paso Chamber of Commerce and nearly 70 El Paso businesses have signed the Texas Competes Pledge, a pledge to support fair and welcoming treatment of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender customers. According to our news partners at the El Paso Inc., Richard Dayuve, the Greater Chamber president and CEO, said 2 chamber committees gave the pledge their unanimous support before it was endorsed by the overall group on April 26th. The chamber took the pledge in the hope that others will follow and prevent any political action that might hurt the state's economy and reputation. Across the state, the pledge is nearly the support of nearly 900 businesses, including big city chambers of commerce and 35 Fortune 500 companies. The conservative Texas Association of Businesses also supports the pledge. For more on this story and others, pick up your copy of this week's El Paso Inc. Other stories this week include who's the new boss at a legendary El Paso furniture store. Here's a hint, her name is Charlotte. And what a San Antonio venture capital company plans now to do in El Paso. El Paso Inc. is online at KVIA.com and available for home and business delivery. Call the number there at the bottom of your screen, 534-4422 to subscribe. There are some major weather events going on across the continent, and coming up on Good Morning El Paso weekend, states to our north getting slammed by severe storms and worse. And later, the borderland not the only area questioning carnival ride safety lately after a girl up north is injured. Time now, just about 8:12. Taking a live look at traffic this morning. I-10 and Executive. Few cars out there moving along fine. I-10 and Asarco. There have been some trouble spots over the past week, but otherwise, you see traffic moving along just fine for your Sunday Mother's Day morning. Schuster, same story. And a storm track weather, Iris.
Cooler temperatures, and we're going to have to deal with those wind. I'll let you know exactly how windy and exactly how cool coming up.
You're watching ABC 7, where news comes first.